Namaste. Namaste. You've never been in India and come out of your hotel and then there's somebody who greets you and says, Namaste. Namaste. Good morning. How are you? And we are reading in the Gospel of Mark. One of the two of the four Gospels who weren't men of the original 12 disciples. Matthew and John, yes. Mark and Luke, no. Generally understood that Mark got his information and did a careful study to provide his gospel, his narrative of the life of Jesus, death, resurrection, that he got it through Peter giving him a lot of information. Be that as it may, we are reading in Mark 11, and Jesus is now entering triumphantly into Jerusalem. But boy, it's not like anyone else had entered as a triumphant general or conqueror. They brought the colt that Jesus told him where it would be in this town. It was brought to him. They brought the colt and they threw their clothes on it and he sat on it. Many people spread their clothes on the road and others spread leafy branches cut from the fields. And those who went ahead and those who followed shouted, Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest heaven. You know what? Now, when a general, a conqueror who was all about himself and wanted people to know the grandeur of his achievements, rode into Rome or any city as a conqueror, they were not on the foal of a donkey. I can assure you. They were in full regalia, chariot, white horses, soldiers all around them with weapons in case someone would even look sideways at them. Boom. Not Jesus. The Lamb of God, meek and lowly. That's a good way to judge, by the way, ministry and just a lot of things in life. People who have been with Jesus want to be like Jesus if they're really with Jesus, not using promises and using a verse to accumulate wealth and gain notoriety. No, they want to be like Jesus. It's more important what we are than what we do, because what we do comes out of who we are. And Jesus came lowly, riding on this foal of a donkey. No soldiers, no chariots, no big white horses. But he had more power and more triumph in one little cell in his pinky than all the Napoleons and Julius Caesars and everyone put together. King of kings, Lord of lords. Notice this about God as we learn it through Christ. What's great in God's sight, and there's nothing greater than Jesus, comes in lowly form, meek, lowly, not ostentatious. To be like Jesus is not to show off and to try to impress, but to just be like Jesus, humble, meek. I would say now from my study of church history, of which I've done a lot of, I wanted to learn, still do it, studying the lives of great men and women of God. No one ever had a great impact on the world for Jesus that was a show-off, ostentatious, look at me, flaunting their wealth or their personality. No one, not one, nada. So from my study, I would say right now today, from what I can observe, there's more ego and in its own way. More look at me. You know, you can preach about Jesus and share Jesus, but still it's about me. I'm the pastor that God has raised up and all that nonsense. Why can't we just be nobody and lift up Jesus and let him take care of the rest? Him riding in that way, what a contrast. In the Roman Empire, which controlled Israel at that time, what a contrast. Pomp and ceremony versus what's he riding? You know, that's like coming into a town triumphantly and you're riding, you know, you're in a 1998 Ford. No, Beetle. Volkswagen Beetle. Here he comes. What? See, that's the way the world reacts. Always remember that what's great in the eyes of this world isn't great in the eyes of God necessarily. And what's great in the eyes of God, the world goes, what? That's a joke, right? We got to accept that. God has chosen the weak things of this world, the things that are almost not, to bring down all the mighty pretensions of this culture and the world. So remember that. It's not Easter season, is it? But when we go to Palm Sunday and Jesus riding into Jerusalem, remember, he was making a statement. I'm not trying to be great in the eyes of this world. I want to live pleasing to the Father. So, the Bible tells us they were yelling, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna actually meant at the beginning, Lord, save. Almost like a cry for help. But then it evolved into a cry of triumph, almost like, look, the Lord saves. Look how great God is. Hosanna. Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Notice, he came in someone's name. He didn't even come in his own name. He came in the name of the Lord. The whole Messiah fulfillment was God so loved the world that he sent. Jesus, in this case, is the ambassador of God. God in the flesh, but sent. He comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's one thing we can do today. You can't go back 2,000 years, but what you can do is bless him. We bless your name. We bless your name. Jesus is worthy to be praised. See you next time.